You guys, we passed the exam, so let's talk about it. You are looking at the latest and the greatest project manager. Settle down, sit down, just take this news in, and then I'm going to share with you guys exactly how this process was. I just give a huge shout out to God because my process was so smooth, and my process was just very much a testimony, because by my own strength I would not have been able to do this. I had talked about this goal of mine from the beginning of the year, and some of you are probably like, what are you talking about, Nicole? Get to the point. It is the project management certification. I wanted to share the process in one full video so that we could just all digest it together, one and done, and that is what we're gonna do. Before we get into the tea of how I passed my project management exam, I want to give a huge shout out to Ana Luisa for partnering with me in today's video. Ana Luisa is having a sale. It's 35% off, so the more you buy, the more you save, and this is their biggest sale yet. So I think I'm actually going to be using some of my project management bonus money to shop Ana Luisa. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I love Ana Luisa, and it's the only jewelry brand that I really wear and showcase because they are hypoallergenic. I cannot use any other type of earring, and when I found Ana Luisa, I was hooked. I can wear their earrings all the time, 24/7, 365. My ears don't hurt, my ears don't sting or anything, so I love wearing my pieces all the time. For example, this ring, I've had it for a while and still looking as good as new, and y'all know I am an advocate of the Abbey. Those are some of my favorite jewelry pieces from Ana Luisa, so make sure you guys check them out. The link is going to be in the description box if you are trying to elevate your style for this holiday season. If you are looking for a gift for somebody this holiday season, check them out. First things first, let me share why I got the project management certification. At my firm, when you work in consulting or risk financial advisory, you do need some sort of certification to promote, but you don't necessarily need to have your CPA. I had a list of different certifications that I wanted, but the project management certification made the most sense. So in September, I did a 1-week boot camp. It was 40 hours of non-stop learning. It was very brutal. 10 out of 10, do not recommend, but it was one of those necessary evils that was required for me to be able to sit for the exam. So let me share with you guys, I guess, a little bit of what is required in the application process. That is one amazing resource that my firm had that I'm very appreciative of, is the fact that they had resources to help us with the application in terms of what was needed to be on the application. It gave you the breakdown of every single thing you need in order for your application to be accepted. So to be a project manager, you need to have, I believe, no less than 36 months of project managing experience or being a team leader, and it has to be real experience from a job that you have actually done. And so the PMI, which is the Project Management Institute, they will audit your application to make sure that it was legit. So I submitted my application, and I think it took about 2 to 3 days before I found out if my application was accepted or rejected. So not only do you need 36 months of experience, you also need 35 PDUs, I think they call it, which is pretty much, you could do it through like a live training like I did, or getting it through Udemy. I did the Udemy course as well as my boot camp. So let's talk about just my process for how I was able to do it in a month. With my firm, once you complete the boot camp, you have to take the exam within a month. You have 30 days to get that exam so they can pay for it, honey. If you don't, you're on your own and you're paying for it yourself. And I wasn't about to spend my own money. I need to utilize the firm. They work me to the ground. I need to also take advantage of them a little bit. But I said like I was going to try to do it within the 30 days that they allow us, and if I didn't fail the first time, I had a contingency plan to take it again. God is good. He is faithful, and he gave me the capacity to pass that exam, because y'all, your girl was struggling. Pretty much I created a study schedule for myself, which I am going to talk about with you guys, as well as to what I did to study, how I studied, and how I prepared. That is kind of like the beginning steps of application to the boot camp. Got into the boot camp, applied to sit for the actual exam. And a couple of things that I want you guys to take away from this whole experience is time management is key. It's super important for you to have good time management, especially when you are a professional that works full time. You just are a busy person like I am, who has a billion and one things going at all times. It's very important for you to have good time management in order for you to complete the certification, especially if you want to complete it within a certain time. And then also having a general understanding of what project management is and the different methodologies. I think it's very important for you to understand what traditional project management or the waterfall method is. It's important for you to know agile and hybrid. Like once you understand traditional and agile, hybrid will make a whole bunch of sense. Have an understanding of the formulas. If you guys want me to make a more separate video or detailed video on formulas, mathematical calculations that was included in the exam or that you should know, I can certainly do that in another vlog. Really practice your time management skills, because I think it comes down to it at the end of the day. It's how well did you manage your time to be able to study, as well as how well did you manage your time during the exam. The exam is about 4 hours, and during the 4 hours you get 2 10-minute breaks. So y'all know that it is long, it's hard, and stressful. And I chose to take mine at a testing center just because I heard horror stories about internet at your house failing and all the things, and if the littlest thing goes wrong, they throw out your exam. I didn't want to have that happen to me, so I just decided to take it at a testing center, and I think my exam was from like 8 a.m. or 8:30 up until 12:30. I had 30 minutes remaining for my exam, and one thing that helped with that, which I will talk about as well, is just like how I studied and planned for it. So I think the biggest takeaway here is really time management. So the first few weeks I was studying after work and sometimes before work. So I would work my regular work day. I would work like 6 to 7 hours, and then I would study for the rest of the evening. There were times that I did work like a 10-hour day, and then I still had to go and study afterwards. But what I did to study is pretty much following the Udemy. There is a Udemy course from Andrew Ramadal, I think that's his name. So I did the Udemy course, and as I would listen to the Udemy course, I would then go to the study hall questions on the PMI website, which I had access to a membership through my firm. I would do the PMI study hall questions. So it was a combination of boot camp, listening to the Udemy lectures, and doing the study hall questions. After about a week and a half of just doing practice questions and listening to the lectures, I took the very first practice exam. And I did the practice exam that was on the study hall website with PMI. And on that first practice exam, I got a 60, I think I got a 65 or 66. So then I knew where I needed to study more and concentrate on, and I continued watching the lectures. I did a total of 4 practice exams. So I watched more lectures, did more study questions, did another practice exam, and on that second practice exam, I got a 71. Once I got a 71, I knew that I was somewhat prepared, but I was definitely trying to get higher scores on my practice exam. So the other 2 practice exams I ended up also scoring in the 70s. So I knew that I would at least pass. Once the results come, you get to see what are you on target on, what areas are you below target, and what areas are you above target. The studying was really about time blocking my days and really sticking to my study schedule. I was sticking to my study schedule. I still did make time for friends and family, but like my Monday through Friday study schedule was set. I was studying all day Saturdays. I was studying Sunday after church. So the week before the exam, I was off of work to just study and make sure that I was fully prepped. And then like I think the last 3-4 days, I was just doing a bunch of questions and practice exams. And then I revisited some of the lectures with some things I was still uncertain of. Another thing that helped me, which is what I've done since college and even in high school, just my note taking. So I was taking notes according to the Udemy lecture, but by section. So the course included just an overall project management section of what it is, and then he goes into a lot of detail on the waterfall approach, which is the traditional project management, and then he talked about agile, and then lastly was hybrid. So I had watched about half of the waterfall or traditional project management lectures before I did my first practice exam, and because that was the longest section of the lectures, I switched it up where I understood traditional waterfall. I didn't understand much of the agile and hybrid. So then I went ahead and finished all the agile lectures and made sure that I knew all the agile terms. The day before the exam, I printed out all of my notes just so that I could have a physical copy, because by that time, like, my brain was fried. I couldn't look at screens anymore. And so I just had a printout copy of all of my notes that I was taking throughout the course of the month. And also forgot to mention, I had started studying prior, but I was studying on and off. I was doing flashcards and that I had found on Udemy, and then watching the Andrew Ramadal course, the module around understanding like what PM is and just like the overview. And I was researching here and there, but I wasn't taking the study seriously until after the boot camp, because I had a better idea of what to do. With the boot camp, they did help us with the application. They helped us review our applications, what to do with the application. And it was really to set us up to pass. Like, if you didn't pass, it could play to several factors, but I think a majority of my cohort passed. So just to say, I know in the beginning of the year we talked about getting the PMP, and a lot of you guys wanted me to share my journey with you guys, and there we go. There you have it. That is how I passed. Ana Luisa is having a sale, as I mentioned earlier, so make sure you guys check them out and shop their sale. Love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.